Welcome back everybody to the Ready or Not lore series, where in today's episode, we'll dive into the map, Hope Street. As always, this video will be divided up into two parts. First, we'll cover all in-game and developer confirmed information, and then I'll share my own theories on where the story and world may go in the future.
Move quickly and clear the area.
Agent Mike Esperanza, aka Alejandro, has been exposed as an undercover LSPD agent. Members of the Los Locos have been dispatched to his address to extract their pound of flesh. Suspects on site are Eduardo Gonzalez, aka El Verdugo. He is a man with no conscience. Gonzalez has worked for Los Locos and the Sonoran Cartel since he was 15. He has developed a close relationship with the leaders of the Sonoran Cartel in Mexico, and was sent to Los Sueños 6 years ago to help steady the Los Locos' ship. He kills for fun and without remorse. Next, we have Marçal Ortega. He is a third Sicario who has worked for the Los Sueños branch of the Los Locos and also the main branch of the Sonoran Cartel in Mexico. Civilians on site are Mike Esperanza, an undercover officer who infiltrated the Los Locos gang. He quickly proved himself useful to the Los Locos after feeding them some information that was given to him by his handler. He also oversaw several weapon exchanges and helped de-escalate a tricky situation with an angry Russian. His work ethic earned him the ear of Roberto Rodriguez, the owner of Caesar's Cars. His handler is Agent Walter Graham, a law enforcement veteran. They communicate through burner phones, encrypted emails, to and from fake accounts, and occasionally in person in various places around the city. With that, let's listen to the 911 calls in the mission briefing.
911, this call is being recorded. What is your emergency?
Yo, yeah. Y'all need to send cops down to 213 Park. I don't know what's going on, but they're shooting and all manner of screaming.
Can you give me that address again?
Nah, I ain't giving you my address. But look, the trouble is on Hope Street, 213 Park. And y'all better get here quick, or they gonna kill him.
Did you say someone is being attacked?
Man, I said I don't know. But all I'm hearing is screams. Like screams I ain't never heard before.
Okay, thank you. Can I take your name, sir?
No, I ain't giving you my name. I ain't never thought I'd be calling you people for help. But this dude is in trouble. And he always seemed like a stand-up guy to me. Man, just send your cars to Hope Street. You'll see for yourselves what's going on.
911, this call is being recorded. What's your emergency?
Yes, we need the police. Please hurry.
Okay, stay calm, ma'am. Can you give me your location?
Yes, we're on Hope Street in 213 Park. Please hurry. Someone's being attacked.
Did you say someone's being attacked?
Yes, please hurry. They're killing him. I can hear him screaming from inside my house.
The screams are coming from inside your house?
No, I can hear them in my house. I don't know where they are. I just know that these screams aren't normal. Please send someone. I've got kids in the house. I don't want them to come here next.
I understand, ma'am. Please try and stay calm. Remain inside your home and lock your doors. The LSPD is already en route.
Oh, thank God. Tell them to hurry. The screaming stopped. I think they killed him.
Stay indoors, ma'am. Do not go outside. The police are on their way and they will take care of it. You've done everything you can.
I know, it's just... I've never heard sounds like it. I know this isn't the best neighborhood, but it used to be safer than this.
I understand, ma'am. Sit tight. The LSPD will take care of things. Stay safe. 911, this call is being recorded. What is your emergency?
Yes, this is Agent Mike Esperanza. I'm at 25 Hope Street, 213 Park. I'm an undercover officer, but my cover has been blown, and armed suspects are about to enter the property. I don't have room to run. I need you to send everybody you've got.
Did you say Agent Esperanza?
Yes, listen, I don't have the time. There are armed men breaking into this property to kill me. I tried to call my handler, Agent Walter Graham, but I can't reach him. I need you to send people here now. Otherwise, they're going to be finding pieces of me for months.
Okay, please try to stay calm. I've put out a call for Agent Graham and notified all vehicles.
Thank you. Oh, shit! Stay back, motherfuckers! Get away from me!
Now hustle up. Element leaders, are all your people here and ready? Good. We don't have time to waste. We've got a problem at 213 Park. We have an officer undercover in the Los Locos for a while now, but his cover has been blown. Multiple reports are coming in about an assault in progress at the address the officer was using as his base. We've also had a rather distressing call from the officer himself. I know emotions get high at times like this, but from what we've heard, it doesn't sound good. I want you all to brace yourself for something nasty. We don't know who is there or how many. We just know we could hear screaming through the reporting calls, and they weren't even in the same property. The responding patrol units have also reported the forced entry into the officer's home. Uniform units are running on a skeleton crew right now because of this hurricane. So they were told to hold fire and wait for us. We've got no time to waste.
Who's the officer, sir?
His name is Mike Esperanza. No doubt some of you have met him before, or seen him around. But I need you guys to treat this like any other mission. Yes, he's one of us. But we can't afford to let emotions get the better of us here. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now all the details and a map of the area have been sent to your tablets. Check them out as we move. These streets are like rabbit warrens, and the damage from the hurricane has only made things worse down there. We'll have members of the public all over this. They'll be scared. I cannot stress how badly we do not need anybody shooting a civilian because they got spooked. Clear heads and solid fucking judgment here. For the avoidance of doubt, Esperanza is 5'8" with gray hair and blue eyes. He's been working under the alias Alejandro, so keep that in your ears while you're out there. Get your gear, get your ass in the seat and move. I want us en route 5 minutes ago.
First things first, let's talk about Agent Esperanza. This isn't the first time we've met this man. Back at Caesar's Cars, Agent Esperanza was working undercover alongside the late Agent Greer. During that raid, we learned a lot about the Spider operation, which led to the raid on Port Hoken. Seeing as how Caesar's takes place on February 10th, 2026, Port Hoken on the 18th, and this map on the 25th, we can assume that, due to the chaos from both of those incidents, Agent Esperanza's cover was blown wide open. With the Spider appearing to be buddy-buddy with Los Locos and their Port Hoken operations being disrupted, it's no wonder why they sent so many men after Agent Esperanza. From the sounds of it, they wanted to make him suffer for disrupting their likely multi-million-dollar operation. Arriving on scene, we see a changed 213 Park. While not looking the best before, the hurricane definitely didn't help this neighborhood. This place was once ravaged by a fire, leaving the area too poor to rebuild. Now after Hurricane Antonio swept through, I feel as though this place is about to get a whole hell of a lot worse. But before we continue and move on into the first house, if we turn around to the officer behind us, we can hear this conversation.
And you saw the attack take place?
Yes, sir. I was out working on my bike, and there was this big crash. It gave me a damn heart attack. I heard these yells, but they didn't make much sense. These big guys grabbed Alejandro and just laid into him, dragging him into the house, kicking and fighting. He was outnumbered, but giving as good as he got.
Then what happened?
Well, they weren't having a friendly cup of tea. I've never heard screams like that. Not at the end. Whatever they did to him in that house, it was something else.
Did you see what happened after they left the house?
No, I ran inside. Whatever was happening to him, I didn't want to be a part of it. I heard gunshots, but didn't see anything. I just hope you find him.
So this man just reiterates what we already know. A large group of men ambushed Agent Esperanza and began torturing him. The fact that they were so callous about this act of violence and didn't care about all the witnesses around, nor them hearing the torture, really goes to show how unbelievably angry Los Locos were at Agent Esperanza for disrupting their business. Entering his house, we see the aftermath of what they did to Agent Esperanza. A bloody chair sits with jumper cables, tape, a hammer, pliers, and a knife. The house is ravaged with "Here the pigs are skinned" written on the wall, and sitting on the couch with a rat in its mouth is a pig's head. Despite all of this destruction, the Sicarios were nice enough to leave the TV intact, where we can hear a news report that says,
"This is a breaking news story. Members of the public are being urged to remain inside their homes and off the streets in and around the area of Hope Street in 213 Park. The LSPD have advised that they are dealing with the situation and request that all members of the public remain safely indoors. Anybody who has information about the incident or believes they have information pertinent to the situation should contact 911. Please be advised to not leave your home. We have no concrete details at this time, but it has been reported that shots were fired and that it relates to an assault and home invasion. Again, for those just tuning in, this is a breaking news story. Residents in the area of Hope Street in 213 Park are being advised to stay indoors while the LSPD deal with an ongoing home invasion incident. We'll update you with more details as they come in.
So basically, it's just a news report of the incident we are currently resolving. Moving into his bedroom, we can find a secret door where Agent Esperanza would contact his handler, passing along any pertinent information. Judging by the amount of cigarettes all over the place, it's safe to assume that, in the final days leading up to the incident, Esperanza was stressed beyond belief. Also, while in the room, we can find this recording.
These guys are smart. The dealership is legit. They buy and sell cars and they do it well. But the real business goes down at night. They're running weapons. They've got these 3 Vietnamese brothers, the Trans, modifying weapons for them. That happens off-site, I don't know where. But they mod them up, and then the weapons are loaded up onto the trucks and sent to the port. Everything moves through the port. I don't know the dock number yet, but I'm working on it. If you want to catch them in the act, then that's your best bet. The deals go down late, around midnight.
That's a good start, but we're going to need more if we want to nail these guys. I need to know more about the network outside the garage. Who's bringing in these weapons? Where? And how?
That's fair. But it's going to take some time to earn their trust to get anywhere near that sort of information. I'll need you to feed me something that can help me get their ears.
I'll see what I can do. Just keep your head down, do whatever you need to do, and I'll be in touch via the usual means. It'll probably take a while to sort something, so just keep on doing what you're doing.
Of course. Right, time's up. I'll wait to hear from you.
This may be the info that Esperanza sent to his handler that led to the eventual Port Hoken raid. As, when listening to the informant report before starting the mission, the officer being recorded hints at knowing some shady things are going down there already. So potentially Esperanza sent his handler this info, the informant mentioned something similar, and with those 2 pieces of info, the raid was set. Moving into the back alley and directly into the first house we see, we can find a radio that gives us some interesting background information.
It's been a little over a week since Hurricane Antonio swept through Los Sueños, leaving behind an unprecedented trail of devastation. In the days since Antonio's landfall, the death rate has risen, and the pressure on emergency rooms, hospitals, hospices, and hotels has continued to rise. Countless homes are still without power, and the utility companies are still unable to give an accurate timeline on when it will be restored. It will be several more days before the full extent of the damage is realized. Resource points have been established across the city, and members of the public are encouraged to make use of the facilities. However, authorities are requesting that people use a center that is local to their home in order to ensure a smooth and fair distribution of supplies to all of the residents of Los Sueños. The LSPD have issued a reminder that anybody caught looting or profiteering from the damage caused by the hurricane will face criminal charges. While the hurricane is past, members of the public are still urged to take extreme caution while traveling or visiting any damaged properties. Many areas are still affected by severe flooding, which brings with it a number of dangers and potential hazards. Members of the public are urged to contact the emergency services or the Antonio hotline should they encounter anything, and are reminded to not attempt to deal with any dangerous situations themselves.
So as we already know, Hurricane Antonio was a week before this map takes place, as it was making landfall during the Port Hoken raid. We also know in the week after the chaos, the death toll is still rising. First responders are stretched thin, hospitals, hotels, and anywhere that can hold people are at capacity. And continuing the discussion of power from last episode, large swaths of the city are still without power. Just to briefly reiterate what we talked about last episode, Los Sueños is already hurting in the energy industry. The dam doesn't work, natural gas is running out, and Los Sueños was already experiencing blackouts prior to the storm. Now that the storm has hit, all of those problems will grow exponentially, leading to many, many neighborhoods ending up like 213 Park. And basically, that is it. If you haven't played this map, Esperanza is alive, and in a very demonetizable condition. But other than that, there's not much more lore on this map, so let's look at the evidence. First, we find a severed pig head left in the living room of undercover officer Mike Esperanza. The bloody head is a blunt message and a threat aimed at the LSPD. Next, we have a picture of Agent Esperanza from a day before he was maimed, depicted with a shaved face and head peeking through a set of blinds at the photographer. The picture is bloodstained, with a thumbprint visible. Note, the picture is taken from a car across the street, likely by the Sicarios who are trying to locate Esperanza and confirm his identity. And finally, we have a recovered cell phone. Esperanza sent a series of texts to his handler, most of which bounced when the hurricane hit and cell towers became damaged. The text read, "Hey, I just saw a guy in a vehicle on the street take a photo of me. I need to be relocated. It's me trying again. I can't call, and I'm hoping as soon as the cell towers are fixed, these messages can get through. Need to be moved." The same car drove around the block 5 times last night. It's Esperanza. For f***'s sake, some sort of group from Caesars is here. I think it's Caesar's car at least. I've got my weapon and I'm moving away. And with that, let's talk about a few things. While there isn't much to theorize about here, there is one thing that stood out to me, and that's just how fast everything moved. Within a handful of weeks, everything fell apart. Due to the rapid timeline of events leading to Esperanza's exposure, this might hint at his fall not having been solely due to his activities. There could have been a leak within the LSPD. While it wouldn't be surprising to find out someone in the LSPD is corrupt, it would explain how Los Locos, and likely the Spider, were so quickly to identify and locate Esperanza. The fact that his cover was blown shortly after the significant raids on Caesar's cars and Port Hoken suggests that someone with inside knowledge tipped off the criminal organizations. Hell, it might even be his handler, because why would you leave an agent out in the dark after 2 massive raids took place? I feel like if that were to happen, the infiltrated criminals would start to look for the rat in their group. And obviously they did and found Esperanza. After the raid on Port Hoken, Esperanza should have been pulled out immediately, but because he wasn't, he was made an example of. Also, the storm would be the perfect cover for the Sicarios to get to Esperanza without the handler blowing his cover. The handler could use the excuse of the cell towers being out to explain why he didn't send help right away, leading to everything we saw. And it's not just that. The extreme violence inflicted upon Esperanza serves not only as revenge, but also as a warning to other undercover agents and law enforcement who might try to infiltrate their operations. Again, Esperanza is alive, albeit in a fingerless, eyeless, and partially skinless condition, but still alive. It appears as though they didn't want to kill him, because I feel like we would have found him on that chair if they actually wanted him dead. I think the order of events played out like this. The Sicarios find Esperanza. They torture him in an extremely public manner, get the cops to arrive, and set up a perimeter around the area, and while they set up their positions, they probably dragged Esperanza out in the open, and threw him down somewhere so the cops would have to come into their kill box to find him. I imagine these Sicarios were then ordered to kill as many cops as possible, like a blaze of glory kind of thing, taking out as many as they can while leaving Esperanza alive, all to send a message. And I think by the end of this raid, the LSPD received this message loud and clear.